Good evening, guys. Billy DiNapoli here on the North American Sports Report. We're doing a pre-recorded tonight, Friday, October 24th. We got some big stories. We're doing a pre-recorded. I went live earlier. I had a little technical difficulty, so we're going to do a quick short here and post on all of our pages, the YouTube page, all our Facebook pages. Don't forget to subscribe to the North American Sports Report. Follow Billy DiNapoli on Facebook. Follow North American Sports Report on Facebook. We appreciate it. Big stories tonight. First, real quick, I want to go over how we did in the NFL. We gave you 2 picks on Thursday night. We gave you the Chargers money line. We told you to lay the 170. We told you to also take them -3, lay the points. We hit both of those. We finished off last week on Monday night going 3-0. We gave you the Seahawks. We gave you the Lions. And we also told you to tease the 2. They were our favorite picks of the week. And we finished last week 3-0 on Monday night. We went 5-2 overall last week, ending our slump, which had lasted 3 weeks. And we have started this week off 2-0. We have moved our NFL record over 500 now at 28-27. We started off red hot 12-5, and then we went on a 3-week slump. But we have bounced back 5-2 this week, 2-0 so far to start this week. Stay tuned. We'll have a full college show tomorrow. We are 16-12-1 on the season in college. We'll do all our picks tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock on the 25th, 9 a.m. We have got to get to this NBA scandal, okay? This is really bad for the NBA, and I'm sure Adam Silver is losing his mind. You have Terry Rozier, the Heat, arrested. Chauncey Billups, the head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, and Damon Jones, assistant coach who did time with the Cavs and the Lakers, a former player, but he carries the least notoriety of the 3, obviously. Rozier, a current player for the Heat, arrested for fixing prop bets. For instance, if you had a prop bet where Rozier was, say, his over-under points scored was 12 or 13, he would make sure he came under that by either purposely missing shots, throwing balls away. In one instance, there's a video of him taking himself out of the game. This is the fakest limp you ever saw. And now when you look at it, some of the turnovers look really suspect and staged. This guy's in a lot of trouble. Chauncey Billups, on the other hand, was running illegal poker games, high-stakes poker games for the mob. But not just that, the poker games were rigged. Fraudulent poker games, defrauding the players, all high-stakes players. And, of course, there's supposed to be some former NBA and maybe current NBA players involved in these games, defrauding these players of millions and millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars, says the FBI. Chauncey Billups was the ringleader, bringing in the celebrity clientele. There are 5 major crime families in New York City, okay? Genovese, Gambino, Lucchese, Bonanno, Colombo. 2 of these 5 are supposed to be involved. So Chauncey Billups was working for the mob, setting up these poker games where they had poker tables with cameras on them so you could see the cards when they're face down, chips with microphones and cameras on them, crazy stuff. It's amazing to think Chauncey, who's always been known as a good citizen, is part of this. But obviously Rozier and him have been relieved of their duties as NBA employees, and they'll never be involved again. They've both been arrested. This is a nightmare for Adam Silver, a nightmare. The NBA already is trying to improve their profile. Let's be honest, LeBron James is not the most popular of legends, and he's been the face of the league for years. They needed a facelift. They want to see guys like Victor Wembanyama of the Spurs, a young superstar going 41-10, and Cooper Flagg playing for the Mavs. And they want to see their young star showcase, not this mess. Everybody's already criticizing the NBA. The ratings are down. It's nothing but chucking 3-pointers and no team play and no team defense, as all the games are seemingly 138 to 128, 121 to 118. There's no defense anymore, and this is the last thing that Adam Silver needed, the last thing that the commission needed. So these guys are going to prison. I don't know about Terry Rozier. He may have a shot, but Chauncey defrauded people for tens of millions of dollars. He's definitely going to prison. Damon Jones was giving concealed injury information to gamblers. For instance, he let it out that LeBron had a knee injury and wouldn't be playing, so to bet against the Lakers. And then when players were injured and would be playing but would not be effective, he encouraged gamblers to bet against them, or mobsters to throw action on the other side. So obviously, I'm not sure the degree of trouble that he's in. Also looking like prison time, defrauding people for... Listen, Billups is definitely going to prison. That's tens of millions of dollars. He's definitely going to prison. He'd need Johnny Cochran to get him out of this. Rozier, also in big trouble, as is Jones. None of these guys will ever work in basketball again. So we'll keep you up to date as more charges, as we get a further view of the extensive charges and what they all are. We know Chauncey Steele. Chauncey was, like I said, he was running this high-stakes game. He's defrauded people for tens of millions of dollars. He's in the most trouble. We don't know the exact amount of Rozier's gambling damage and the millions that he cost people. We know that he was seen by a witness counting $200,000 of money he made off rigging his own prop bets in his home. So we're not sure there, but could look like prison time for him as well. These guys are all in big trouble, and they're never, ever going to be involved in basketball again. It's a black eye for the NBA. But listen, that being said, Chauncey Billups is the only really high-profile guy in this. If nothing else comes out, this will blow over. The people are going to continue to watch the NBA. They're going to continue to gamble on the NBA. It's still going to be a sport that does well in the ratings. The only thing that Adam Silver doesn't want to happen now, they've arrested about 20 mobsters, these three guys, but they said they made 34 arrests. That means there's 11 more people we're going to hear about. Now, if this involves referees, officials, like back when Tim Donaghy got busted years ago for working for the mob and, blowing whistles in favor of what side he needed to come in. If you find 6 officials that are involved in this, then you got bigger problems, way bigger problems. Then this could get serious. But as of right now, if it stands pat, these guys will go to jail, or they'll suffer the legal process, and whatever happens, you'll forget about them, and basketball will move on. They'll go to jail, life will go on, the NBA will continue to thrive. But if you find out now that there's like 5 or 6 officials involved in this, or maybe some other current players, it could get bad. It could get bad for the NBA. I don't really think that's going to happen. I think the other people named are probably mobsters. Terry Rozier was not a star player anymore, and no one cares who Damon Jones is. He was nobody as a player and an assistant coach. He's a nobody. Chauncey was the biggest name, but these guys will get the book thrown at them, and life will go on for the NBA unless we hear some more really bad stuff coming out as far as you got officials on the take. If you hear 5 or 6 officials are in on this, then it's big trouble. All right, anyway, we're going to do an NBA preview real quick. Let's get to the on-court stuff. Real quick, like I said, it was great to see Wembanyama the other night. What a performance he put in. Young Cooper Flagg for the Mavs is going to also be great. He's still going to take his lumps, but moving forward, I want to give you my division winners and seedings. In the Eastern Conference, I like the Cleveland Cavs to win the Central. They're my top seed in the East. We're going to give you just 1 through 8 and division winners. So in the East, I like the Cavs. I like Orlando to win the Southeast. I love the Magic team this year. The Knicks will win the Atlantic. The Knicks are still going to be good with Brunson and Towns. I do think, though, they really needed to add an extra piece. They didn't. The Celtics are still going to be good. They're my 4th seed in the East. They're banged up to start the season. They're going to be missing guys, so they're not going to be the team they were. They're going to be on the decline. I like the Bucks. I like the Pacers to make the playoffs. Still a solid team, even though obviously they'll have no Halliburton. I like the Hawks and Detroit to be the final playoff participant, the 8th seed in the East. Cleveland, Orlando, and the Knicks are your division winners, followed by Boston, Milwaukee, Indiana, Atlanta, and Detroit is your 1 through 8 in the East. In the West, I like the defending champions, SGA and the OKC Thunder, to win their division again. The Northwest, they'll be the 1 seed. I like the Golden State Warriors to win the Pacific. They'll be your 2 seed. I like the Houston Rockets to win the Southwest. They'll be your 3 seed, followed by the Nuggets. I like the LA Clippers, but that's all contingent on if Kawhi Leonard is healthy. The Lakers will be in the playoffs, but they're no threat. LeBron is old now. Luka's their best player, but after those 2 guys, there's not a lot on that bench. I like the T-Wolves. And my surprise pick, my 8th seed, will be the San Antonio Spurs with the young Victor Wembanyama. Now, they are not picked by many to make the playoffs this year, but they're going to be my 8th seed. OKC, Golden State, Houston, Denver, LAC, Lakers, Minnesota, and San Antonio. Those are my 8 in the West as we kick off. I know the season's already kicked off. I'm a little bit late to the party, but we have a lot going on in the sports world. We'll be doing our college football show tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. I want to set you up for the World Series tonight. Tonight, the Los Angeles Dodgers are at Toronto for Game 1 of the World Series at 8 p.m. Blake Snell is on the mound against Yasevich, the righty for the Blue Jays. First pitch is 8 p.m. I did hear that Bo Bichette will play for the Blue Jays in this series. I'm not sure if he's playing tonight, but with Springer, and if you add him to the lineup with Guerrero, they already have a good lineup. Listen, the Blue Jays are going to be no easy out for the Dodgers. I am picking the Dodgers to win the series. I like the Dodgers in 6. I believe they are minus 120, the odds for the series. Take the Dodgers. I mean, listen, the Dodgers with Snell, Yamamoto, and Glasnow and Ohtani, they got the starting pitching. Their bullpen isn't what it was. I know they just lost one of their relievers. His name's escaping me. He had a family issue. I think something happened to one of his children. I'm not really sure, but they're going to be a little bit lighter than they have been in the bullpen. The Dodger bullpen hasn't been great this year, but it did perform well in the last round of the playoffs in the NLCS. I like the Dodgers. They have too much starting pitching, and that lineup obviously with Betts and Ohtani, and I mean they're just loaded. Hernandez, Freeman. You can go on and on and on. I like the Dodgers in the series. First pitch is tonight, 8 p.m. Blake Snell, who has been lights out, is on the mound for the Dodgers versus Yasevich. Enjoy the series tonight. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. for our college football Saturday show. This is kind of a short tonight. Also, honorable mention. I got some heat from my listeners. Obviously, you guys know I have a history, a career in music. I did not mention the death of Ace Frehley, and I am remiss to say that Ace Frehley was one of my idols as a child. Kiss was a phenomenon in the 70s, and Ace Frehley probably inspired as many people to play guitar as Eddie Van Halen did. Obviously, he's not as prolific as Eddie, but his shtick and his style, and in the 70s, he was the coolest guy on 2 feet. Ace Frehley was a god. Godspeed, Ace. Ace died from a fall last week. He had a brain bleed. He was in a coma, and he passed away at the age of 74. Rest in peace. We've lost another musical legend. God bless you, Ace. Thanks for all the great music and the inspiration. That's it for us tonight on the North American Sports Report. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., Saturday the 25th, and we'll do our whole college football show. You guys take care. God bless.